Hello guys, and welcome to a new Steel Division 2 video today by myself, Vulcan, and Attack Power.
Hey guys, always excited to be here.
In this video we have for you game 2 of a best of 5 between Insha and Gonzo in the grand final of the Division 1 Season 9 playoffs of the Steel Division 2 League. Today they are playing on Slutsk East, and on our left in the red team we have Gonzo playing on the allied side using the 3rd Guards Tank Corps and the Maverick deployment type. And on our right in the blue team, we have Insha, also on the allied side, using the reserve 43rd and the Maverick deployment type. So Insha 1-0 up in this grand final, which is, I don't think, what we expected going in. But great to see Insha getting one off the mark, and we'll have to see if Gonzo can bring one back. What do you think about these divisions, Attack Power?
Yeah, two good choices here. I actually really like Slutsk East. This is one of my favorite maps. Don't ask me why. I don't know, something about it. I just like the way it plays. But yeah, these are two very reasonable choices. I always have to mention, like, you know, 3rd Guard, this division that has had a big comeback, you know, from its fall from grace when it used to be the top dog and the greatest of greatest. Great choice though now. IS2s, ISU 152s. You know, you have all the nice long range stuff. Then you have the MCHAs for the town and everything down here in the south. So a nice mix of stuff. Low on infantry, but you shouldn't need a ton on this map. There's a lot of open space. On the flip side here, Insha on 43rd Reserve. We just saw this in the 3rd place game. Kurz was using it. And this is another, Nord was using it. Another great division. IS-2s, great infantry, T-34-85s. It's just a nice mix of stuff. You got the SU-122. So both these divisions with plenty of 2K ability. It's going to be very interesting to see how they play out. The air power in 3rd Guard might be the deciding factor here because the AA out of 43rd can be very lacking.
Yeah, I think in general the 3rd Guards will have the open range advantage just because the IS2s can quite easily shut down the 2K engagement that the 43rd might try to do. But the 43rd certainly has, I think, an advantage in the town where it has its like Strafniki basically. But let's have a quick look at what's going down. On the top side for Gonzo we have Maxim, double OB Tanko. For sort of bottom side of the top we have the Maxims and the Panzerek and the 2 Tankos. And on the bottom side, heading into the town on top of the hill, we've got the leader with the guards, Razvedka Sapari, the MCHA in there, some OB, we've got an M15 at the back early on. Then we have Guards, Sapari, Tankos, Panzerek, and an Avto Komrati heading to the bottom side. For Insha on the very top, he's just going for a Sapari PPSH to hold that flag, and then he's got Sapari PPSH with SGs holding further down, so not really investing too much at all into the top side since those Sapari PPSH only cost like 10 points. And then on the bottom side we have a pack 45, or sorry, just a 45, not a pack. It's obviously not German. We've got Sapari and the Strafniki, and then on the very bottom side, a large investment into the Sapari PPSH with a Sapari Komrati early on, followed up by Strafniki, Sapari Docs, SG, a T-34 at the start, and an SU-152. So very large and significant investment on this bottom side.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these Sapari PPSHs. They don't stack up well against anything. They generally just die. But we'll see how he works with them. Yeah,
I think they are good for obviously taking ground early on, and they are fantastic for holding little areas that you don't want to be fighting in. But that's about it. They can obviously catch out a transport, maybe. But yeah, as soon as everything's unloaded after the start, they kind of lose any sort of significance in the game.
Yeah, I mean, they're even worse than like a flamer. So we just saw Razvedka go down in the Jeep there. So lost the recon. Definitely a big deal. OB-25 doing its magical never miss, kill everything thing.
Yeah, we do have quite a lot of stuff getting very far up on the bottom side. Insha got a really good position here with his Sapari, with Sapari Docs and the standard Sapari there. It is going to be him dodging forwards and backwards to try and dodge the grenade of the Sapari. Gonzo's going to realize the play there.
Yeah, Sapari on the hill kills off the PPSHs. Sapari Rocks catching them out. Still great at long range with their double DPs. More up north, the Maxim of Gonzo beating out the SG-43s of Insha here. So a little surprising. Tankos took out the PPSH and grabbed that flag, giving Gonzo an early 13-11 here.
Tanko's going to push out Sapari PPSH on the bottom side. A lot of these Sapali PPSH already falling to pieces. Like you said, the tank on the top side getting a little bit of a salient there. The SG is being forced back, mainly due to the veterancy on the Maxims, I think. Infantry engagements so far have gone in the favour of Gonzo. Gonzo's Emcher, though, did take a shot. Not sure quite from what. I think it might have been the T-34-85 with the
No, I think it was the
APCR.
I think it was the Strafniki. I think they got a side shot on it or something. Because the T-34 wasn't in a spot to see that yet. I'm not 100% sure. But Insha driving right up with that. Now, if we look here, there's really no AT here other than the DPs, and those aren't fabulous.
This is fantastic play here. He's just going in. He doesn't care if there's a guard over the side here. The T-34 had its turret facing the wrong way for a little second there, but
Doesn't matter.
doesn't matter. Yeah.
Yep.
That is just such a beautiful play. Like being super aggressive at the right time there is really good. Although this OB-25 might put him in a hole. Or side shot with the heat. Is it going to happen? Yes, it is.
I'm telling you, every time that thing, it might as well be an AT gun.
Oh, that is disgusting. That was its last heat round.
Yep.
And on my camera, it looked like the shot missed completely, and then the tank just blew up.
You know, I 100% agree with you. One thing for new players to note, heat shells, they fire slow, but when the game decides they're going to hit, they're like heat-seeking rockets. They will follow the unit forever. It's ridiculous.
M15 was going to target the right IL-2 there to stop the OB from getting killed off. And the M15 so far actually paying off quite a bit early on. It's forced these IL-2s back a lot so far. SU-122 has been brought in by Insha on the top side, so he will be looking to dislodge this Tanko potentially at some point when he starts firing, positioning those buildings. But meanwhile, things just bouncing backwards and forwards on the top of this hill.
Yeah, this often ends up being the focal point of a lot of fighting. It's hard to avoid it. If you can push red off this hill, you can basically dominate the town. If you can push blue back into the town, you can, of course, dominate the town. So it really affects the entire southern part of the map, capturing this hill.
Indeed, but these Strafniki are really chunking this pretty hard right now.
Yeah, we're starting to see the difference in quality. At first, Gonzo just felt like it was kind of swarming, and it was working. But now we're starting to see these Strafniki start to destroy stuff. The Sapari Komoroti here, increasing them to 3-vet, and they're very dangerous at 3-vet. We see the SU-122 fire positioning, unfortunately, at the wrong set of buildings.
Yeah. So I think what happened is, like, obviously early on he brought in a lot of the Sapari PPSH Insha, and we saw a lot of those die. So it kind of seems like things are dying, but behind that he obviously had brought up all these Strafniki, and those are really what pack a punch. And I'm surprised that, honestly, with the positioning that Insha had on the bottom side, that he didn't manage to make more of this, because he lost his Sapari rocks, and his Sapari got chunked, and didn't really end up doing too much to Gonzo's units down here. So we'll see what happens when he's bringing forward this SU-152. He's also got an 85 moving into position that might be able to cover the road here on the top side of the bottom town.
Yeah, the issue, there is an MCHA hiding in there now, so he can't just drive tanks in, and he already lost one of his T-30-45s. He does not have, like, a ton of those. I think he's only got one card, maybe two at most, but he's got to be careful. They're very effective against MCHAs, but once they're all gone, he's going to have a hard time killing off those MCHAs.
SU-122 now fire positioning towards the correct building. He will know that that is the building, or one of the correct buildings, when the front line starts shifting back. But the Tankos putting pressure towards the Sapari PPSH here. They might be able to catch out the Tankos with the Panzerfaust. And that is the beauty of the Sapari PPSH. That is one thing that they can do. Also, the 85mm on the bottom side, 2-star veterancy, takes out that Emcher. No problem.
Wow. There you go. It's rough because you can't see the line of sights, because like when they're on elevation, they actually see more than this line of sight tool claims they can see.
Yeah, learning the line of sight on the hills of these maps is something that just comes with experience. But yeah, these players have a lot of experience in that regard. Tankos, though, still managing to successfully break down the defense on that flag. So, surrender of Sapari PPSH, killing off the SG-43s, and that is another flag in favor of Gonzo, so he is now 14-10. Yeah,
Gonzo doing a great job of dominating this northern part. We now see an ISU-1 SU-152. That's going to be extremely dangerous and very hard to kill off, at least with the troops currently up there. And Insha doesn't appear to be putting much more into it. He's got a recon and a T-30-45 coming into the hill, and not really to the center here at all.
It looks like the Sherman is really providing good support onto the hill with the guards here, killing off a lot of these Strafniki. Sapari Rocks there taking a big chunk. On the bottom side, the Avto Strafniki and the Sapari tried to push forwards and really got cut down. The SU-152 now trying to fire position to chip some of that infantry. But as you said, Gonzo's control on this top side is only going to get bigger, really, as the IS-2 1944 comes in to accompany the ISU-152. He already has AA set up for that as well, so Gonzo just prepping for complete control up there. The SU-122 might be able to kill the ISU-152 if it gets close enough, but that's only 1,500 meter range on the heat, and then it's got to land, what, a 40% or, yeah, 40% accurate shot, so good luck.
Yeah, all while the ISU-152 gets a full 2K range
with its AP.
Blast it. Yeah, so it's gonna be, that's a tall ask.
The only thing that SU-122 can do is just stop it getting too close for now. But basically that means that Insha has to start making ground on this bottom side to counteract the flags. Like, technically Insha could get into the lead. If he pushes Gonzo off the hill here, he could take all 3 flags, including the one down south in the town. So that is, I think, the play for Insha right now. He just needs to make it happen sooner than later. And so far, Gonzo's putting up a good fight.
For sure. We just saw a Maxim go down up north. SU-122 is claiming some kills here, and he needs to do that. He's got to break down some of these machine guns and things so that he can actually move troops forward. But we have to note here on the hill, Insha doesn't really have any more infantry. A lot have been killed off, and we see he's just been bringing in T-30-45s. We finally see another Avto Strafniki, but it's very possible he's already running out of infantry in A phase.
Yeah, these Strafs, when you have them at like high base vet, you don't get many of them, that's for sure.
Nah.
But Sapelli now coming in to assist on this bottom side. He definitely has numbers advantage. He just needs to get this SU-152 to be hit in the right spots.
Yeah, right now, most certainly. I see the concept here. He thinks there's an infantry in one of these 2 buildings exerting influence on this flag, but unfortunately it's further back than that. So that SU-152 is never going, 152 is never going to actually hit that Gavardia.
Yeah, I think the best solution is to actually have the SU-152 in a similar position to the 85 up on the hill. And then he would be able to just fire wherever he wants into this town. The other thing is, he needs to poke his infantry forwards like he's doing now to reveal the position of these guards and sapperty so that he can place those fire position orders on the SU-152 better. He has managed to clean up the sapperty. He is starting to work on the guards. That Avto Comrati is very low, and if it gets spotted, it will get taken out very quickly. Tankos, there's just so many numbers here right now. Insha should clean out this bottom side, but he will start to take fire from Gonzo's Emcha further up as he moves into the edge of the town.
He does take out the Avto Comrati there, so that's a nice kill getting rid of that leadership. We do have an ISU-152 coming in from Gonzo, and if Insha lets his infantry out for too long, they're going to start disappearing very quickly.
Yeah, he's going to have to hide these after cleaning them out. That's for sure. This 85 on the hill is also probably going to want to find a better spot as the ISU-152 comes in, because that thing will just poke at it from a distance with the 2,000 meter range. Tankos getting forced back here. Spadidox moving in. As these Tankos get pushed out in the open, they are just going to die. It's as simple as that. There's nowhere for them to go.
Absolutely. We do see again, though, that Insha's not, he's decided he's happy to sit on this hill for a little bit here. T-3485's moving around. It looks like he's moving one of the T-3485s into the town in the south to, maybe he saw this ISU-152, or he is predicting that Gonzo would do something. We now see another IS-2 coming in from Gonzo. He does like his heavy tanks. We've seen him do this before.
Yeah, with his third guards, he definitely prioritizes getting out the heavy armor over taking ground. In this case, he's still managed to stick on a 1311, but he is happy to sacrifice a bit of front line so that he can build up these heavy forces, because there isn't really much that Insha can do about it. It's like an IS-2 1944 is more or less impervious to this 85, and also the T-34 85 unless they get seriously close.
Yeah, that T-30 85 has the smallest of chances at extremely close range because of the APCR, but that's it, and that's a stretch already. And of course, then the IS-2 will immediately hit its first shot and kill it. So, you know, there's that too. This 37 mil though might get caught out by this T-34 85. Insha has the T-34 on fast move though, so it's not stopping and firing, which means it's now gotten rather close. So it should be able to do some good damage to this thing. Oh yeah.
I like the aggressive moves that Insha does with these tanks, just like fast moving them. But the IS-2 is going to peek out, and that T-34 is going to want to run away.
Dead.
Oh, the one shot. He did get a side shot though onto the IS-2.
Got a pen. Yeah. That is worth it. I'm not gonna lie. That's worth it. I mean, that's what you can expect when you throw a T-34 against a IS-2.
It's a start. Like, it means that I was gonna say artillery could do something, but 43rd not the most well known for their artillery.
Literally zero.
Yeah. Maybe aircraft, but honestly, Gonzo's been pretty on form with his AA so far. Has had it in really good positions. Like the position where the M15 is at the bottom of this hill, it's just such a good place for AA because it's so safe against like enemy ground forces as long as you're controlling the top edge of that hill. While still being able to, you know, forward shoot the aircraft.
Yeah, you always have to be careful where you put your AA. If you put it right behind a forest or something, they actually will not be able to shoot the plane until it's like directly over them. It's really obnoxious, actually.
Oh, the P3 play on the top side.
Whoa! Didn't even. That's fun. Dun, 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 dun.
See if he can take out the ISU 152 here. The P3, is it going to do the job? No, he's got them split. No, that's not what you need to do. The IS-2 just completely tanked that. He could have had both of those P3s on the top side go for the one ISU 152, and he might have managed to take that out if enough rockets landed on target.
Now we do see an IS-2 out of Insha now, but it's a 1943 variant, which is obviously not a great matchup against the 44 variant, but they can both kill each other. And it looks like they're going to go for it. Oh,
Gonzo's here playing top trumps. He's like, mine's better than yours. They will both one-shot each other, so we'll have to watch out. The IS-2 of Gonzo does have that extra leadership due to the Avtocomlotti, so it is reloading fast. Insha realizes his danger and will be backing out of there ASAP.
That was such a dice roll for both players.
It was.
Just like, bring it, bro.
Gonzo a lot more confident because he can probably much more likely bounce the shot from Insha, but I think if Gonzo hit there, that would have been a kill.
Most likely. But, you know, as Insha, like, what else do you do? I mean, he kind of did his thing with the P3, like, Mega Strike. It failed. I can't say terribly surprising because there's a lot of AA here, and now there's even more. And Gonzo bringing another 37 mil. You know, after that, then there's really nothing you can do except hope for a really lucky IS-2 hit, because otherwise you can't really kill it with 43rd otherwise.
That was his chance to kill that ISU 152. Now Gonzo's doubled down on the AA. Like, he had 137 already coming in that wasn't unloaded when that strike first hit. I think it was just the M15 that helped push most of that back. Or both of the M15s on that top side. But yeah, now second 37 coming in. He actually moved his M15 from the town to the top side.
Almost out of ammo though. Oh, IS-2 down south, catching out. Does it see the SU? No, it looks like it's getting away. There it is. Right.
SU-152 went for a cheeky shot. Maybe get a crit in there. Might be able to do something. The IS-2 is damaged, so the SU-152, if it gets enough extra hits, will get the kill.
You do see the 45 mil did get a nice pen on that SU-85. Now the T-30-45 is going to try to finish it off with the KV-1. Should be able to. Oh, the depression is. Oh, both missed. Oh, facepalm. Why?
And the OB is gonna kill one of these tanks with HE. Just watch.
I think it's out of HE. I think. It's out. Yeah, that one's out of heat shell. So
yeah,
here comes the
I'm
other
saying
one
with
though.
HE, right? I mean, if it hits enough times, it can.
Yeah, most likely. I look at those things as god tier units.
They are very good. The 45, yeah, doesn't want to stick around in that position. We've got 1944 T-34 coming in to the hill now, accompanied by another Strafniki, and a ZIS-3. Interesting. Why would you bring in ZIS-3s at this point? Oh, SU-152 going down on the bottom side, gets caught out by the IS-2. Nice kill there. Definitely going to take away some of the pressure the Insha had from this town. T-34-85 trying to get into a good position to potentially side shot some of these heavy vehicles. I still think the play for Insha is take control of this top hill, because then what you can do with this like ISU-152 and the IS-2 on the bottom side is really just get angles onto it. So you can find side shots. You can have like a T-34, 9044 up on the hill, and you can have one down in the town. And the one down in the town at the moment, ripping those Gavadia out of their half tracks on the road.
Tearing it up, yep.
Yeah. Very nice.
IS-2 popping in though. This is pretty close, and yep, one shot.
Goodbye.
That is not 35% accuracy. we've had 2 for 2 so far. We're at 100%.
I mean,
nowhere near.
He had won that because of the Avto Comrati, technically.
Oh, okay. That's still not 40% accuracy. Here comes the PE-3s trying to get a shot off on that IS-2. First one is suppressed before it can fire. Second one does get a shot off, but it's suppressed, so most of those rockets will miss horribly, and they do.
I don't think a single one landed. Maybe one?
I think just one. Yeah, that's... Yeah, I mean, what do you do? There's not a lot of options here. You can definitely... Yeah, the hill is definitely the key here to get side shots in that IS-2. I think is there another IS-2 up north? No, there's still just the one. And now we are about to reach C phase as well, so this is key to remember that both players are going to be losing that income, and they're kind of stuck with what they got. Strafniki down south, pinned but fanatical, so it does not care about being pinned.
Yeah, it's just going to run away, but Sverdi Komroti not going to be fun when they get killed, because the extra veterancy that's making these Strafniki very strong will go away. And these guards moving in very quickly. Now with the T-34-85 out the way, those guards with those half-tracks can just zoom in here, keep all of this infantry pinned, and slowly but surely whittle them down. T-34-85 9044 has finally got up into the hill, into that position, but now he needs another one on the bottom side. Otherwise it's kind of pointless. He might be able to kill the IS-152, honestly. He will have penetration at that range. I feel like he moved it just before it fired.
Yeah, he should be. Yeah, I would actually take that. Oh!
And that's
okay.
It. 19 minutes, 49 seconds. Inch is gonna give up the game right there.
I guess I understand. I do get it. It's disappointing to see him throw the Talon so early, but he was going... We're just about to hit C phase. He doesn't... I mean, Gonzo has built a huge position in terms of AA and heavy tanks, and he doesn't have any response to that on the ground. So he's kind of between a rock and a hard place now all of a sudden.
Yeah, also, as we mentioned already, his infantry availability would fall off massively into the late game, with the emphasis on those Strafniki. So if those weren't finding him any ground, especially on the bottom side or on the top side of the hill there, it's very difficult to get into a position where you can threaten those heavier tanks, because even controlling that top hill allows you to put pressure on the top side, even like the open ground up there. You can get T-34s and other units into position to, again, find side shots. Like, it's all about the angles. That's what the hill is so great for, is it really gives you so much control over that map, but you just never could quite push Gonzo off the edge. And even if he did push him off the edge, I think it would have been easy for Gonzo to get back on the hill because of the ISU-152s providing that 2,000 meter range HE fire support, which means that he could never like put AT guns on the edge or tanks on the edge or anything, because it would just get killed. So, yeah, like I say, he was in a very, very difficult position, and in the end, 1,040 kills, 805 losses for Gonzo. Not too far off in kills and losses, but certainly Gonzo having ultimate map control.
Yeah, not overwhelming. One IS-2 evens that up, kind of thing. But again, he was just pushed back too far. He had lost a number of units, and I think Insha's biggest issue was that his Strafniki were not trading well enough. When you have so few infantry at such high value of the infantry, they have to kill several units each to really make up for themselves, and they weren't doing that. He was basically just getting swarmed by Gavardia over and over again, and they weren't stopping those infantry. So Gonzo is just constantly whittling his infantry away, and I have a feeling he didn't even have that much at the end, most likely.
Yeah, so in the kills, Gonzo, his ISU 152 is providing great support. The IS2 9044, they're getting 2 T-34 85 kills and an SU 152 on the bottom side. That was
Can't miss, won't miss.
Really nasty. The OB25 with the T-34 side shot as well early on. Oh, that got to be triggering.
It triggers me, and I'm just watching it happen.
But Insha, yeah, like you say, the Stravniki really not trading very well. Like 2 for 1, sure, pays them off, but that's not what you need. You need more than that. You need them to really double down and grab 3 or 4 squads, preferably, before they're really worth the investment of veterancy and lack of availability.
Yeah, it's not even about the points, because people will think, well, they point value traded, sure, but the problem is you only get 4 of them, and there's 9 Gavardia to kill. So it's not.
Yeah, it's a matter of deck building at that point. It's like your activation points are what you're paying, not the points in the game.
Exactly. So yeah, just a tough game for Insha. But we're evening up here, 1-1. So both players 100% still in this. I think Insha's got to get the game to go longer. If he lets Gonzo bully him out of positions early and stuff, I think it's really hard to get this guy out of positions. Gonzo, a master of defense, essentially. So we need to see him do what he did in game 1 and kind of push Gonzo out of some positions early and just make Gonzo get dirty fighting a long game where he starts to make mistakes.
And that's the thing, right? In this best of 5, Insha tried so hard and had to go so far to get the first game, and then in the second it's gone just like that. It's going to be difficult for him to carry on with this best of 5, I think. We'll have to see how he does in the next game. Anything else you'd like to add?
No, great game to both players. Looking forward to game 3.
All right, that's it. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button.
Of course. Goodbye.